I sent to you greetings from Abuja, from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. We are here from the Ministry of Niger Delta Development, and the purpose of being in Bayelsa today is to take a look at some ongoing projects that the military is undertaking, and also to see for ourselves the major problem of the Niger Delta, which is the east-west area. And we have just visited the office of the governor, and this is the second place we have to visit today. Yeah, after here, we also visit the project site and see for ourselves. Beyond that, as we are coming, we notice the east-west road, the portion from Port Harcourt up to the port was quite good. But on getting to Midway, it was not the part. We were dancing on a road that is very, very undulating. And we noticed that part of the east-west road, because yesterday when we were in Port Harcourt, we saw a similar situation between element, industrial, and the petrochemical. And want to be to water for a region that actually produces a lot, that assists the nation to grow economically, and we are experiencing this kind of situation. Your Majesty, I think as the chairman of the traditional rulers in Bayelsa State, I'm sure you also have opportunity to have an interface with chairmen of other traditional rulers in other states. I would like you to take it as a priority, so that in the next meeting, people can discuss it and see the possibility of joining hands with the state doctors, those of us who are ministers of the region, to get this relief. And also in your domain, to kindly assist to discourage oil theft, because that is also the problem we are having today in Nigeria, so that when you talk in terms of 2 million production on a daily basis, about 500 is stolen. I think as the custodian of the people of this very region, we can also help working in this direction. Having said that, I want to say that I want to thank you that at a very short notice, we were able to assemble your police in the state to receive us. What's the name?
Hey, Zach! Yeah! Zach, you mean?
No!
I think so. It's okay, I want to particularly welcome the Minister of National Development and his conference, my airborne kings, my colleagues, kings of different kingdoms, these are some of them. I want to welcome you as well. It has been a long wait, actually, because communication was up and down. The first hint as to this meeting was around Monday from a man called Lawrence, that there was this desire for the minister to come to this state and pay a brief visit. I said, okay, today, Monday, Tuesday, I'm available. Wednesday to Friday, I'm not available. So, if it is any time the following week, it makes some sense. I said, okay, but going to layers and let me know. I said, okay. Wednesday, Abuja. Thursday morning, I think so. That the meeting on Wednesday evening, the meeting has now been scheduled for Friday. Friday? Yes. And the idea was that it was going to be like that. Cut a long story short, I had to buy a new ticket to leave very early on Friday, because 3 p.m. on Friday was not flying. The flight was supposed to be from 1 p.m. on Friday. So I got a ticket to come to Port Harcourt this morning with all the hiccups. And then by 11:30 or so, the minister is now moving to government house. And in 30 minutes, he will be out. Can we put the meeting for 2 p.m.? 30 minutes, he will be out. I said, 30 minutes, is coming out and out? I was wondering. Anyway, I got here and then sent Mr. Lawrence a text. 30 minutes never pass. To 2 o'clock. Anyway, that was what we went through. So for the kids, they've been actually here since about 10 o'clock. I had a comment that which I had to. So I welcome them. And for me, this also underscores the importance of this. The Niger Delta Ministry is a proud ministry for Niger Delta. And so, I haven't seen your able enter to be okay to see a few things to help us achieve the purpose of which we have that ministry. For most of us, the east-west roads or the south-south road, whatever name it is, has been there for too long. It has been in construction forever. And there's nothing more embarrassing than that. To see that road, the road looks like a gaping ulceration. Because from time immemorial, we've always known that about 85% of what Nigeria calls foreign exchange comes from this region. And then to build one road, it's not that monies have not been apportioned, maybe not enough, or maybe they go other ways, I don't know. But the long and short is that we are not seeing the roads to use. And so we are believing that your season will be a different season. It will be a season of results. And I'm happy, if I start even here that at the point the road was removed from your ministry to somewhere else. I don't know the rationale for that. Maybe that's why they wanted to just close down your ministry. Or we felt that would be the worst thing to do. So, this is a call on the presidency and everyone concerned to bring back that road to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development as soon as now. The kings and people of the Niger Delta are tired of using the Niger Delta region for political games. We're tired. We want to see the results. I don't care what name it is called. Even if it is called Okokobioko Road, I want the road to finish. So whether it is East-West Road, South-South Road, Okokobioko Road, whatever road, let the road be available for use. So that at least we'll have a sense of belonging. And of course for commerce. A lot of passengers use this road. Most of the major commerce pass through this road and want the roads to be completed. So I believe that the authorities will hear me from here and ensure that that particular road is returned. And that's why it is better called maybe the South-South Road. So they know that the Ministry of Nigeria is actually the South-South people. So they will bring it back to you. That is on the one hand, but that is not all about the road. The other bit about the road is that last year we had the most devastating floods ever experienced in recent history. The flood water levels went as high as close to 8 meters in some places because of our rivers. And so almost everywhere was flooded. Most of the kings were displaced, their palaces destroyed, and so on and so forth. About 99% of Bayelsa state was under water. Very few places managed to do that. Of course, at the end of the day, the rendition is the story. All of us are displaced, everyone suffered. But the worst part is that the East-West Road, just as you saw, was divided into two. So that the eastern flank, in those two places, it was unpassable. From Okogbe up to Abuja, you had to actually swim. The only vehicles that could ply the road at that time were flying boats from the Navy, and the flying boats were passing through the forest. You saw as you were coming throughout the right-hand side was a flooded forest where flying boats could fly, and flying boats were actually flying. Of course, there were some areas where they were using military trucks whose tires were as high as this, and so those ones could manage to, even then, at the risk of their lives and the lives of passengers. So at that point, it was difficult for anybody to come from Port Harcourt to Bayelsa from the eastern side. Similarly, the western flank was also damaged, and so there was no access from the Warri axis. And so nobody could come from Lagos to Bayelsa State, nobody could come from anywhere else to Bayelsa State from the east. That's the were cut off. And we were cut off about 3 weeks. A lot of persons were trapped outside. A few had to manage Air Force helicopters for a few, but of course everybody could not use those facilities. So that was the story, and that is the story because those portions are still unattended. And the flood waters are coming. And I hear they are going to be worse than last year. So those portions are definitely gone. Once the flood waters come, they will remove the entire road. And you cannot leave that type of road in the hands of a so-called federal minister of works because they won't even see the road. So you have to have seen the road, and you go back to, instead of giving us the whole job, to bring it back to the ministry, tell them that we say you should take it back to the ministry. It is your job. So that is the fate of Bayelsa State in the next few weeks. It will be cut off again. And this time, at the end of the flood, there will be a real river or sets of rivers in those portions. Because the entire road, everything that has been done there will go. That is how serious it is. Can something be done now? Yes, something could be done now. If you do some reasonable level of reinforcement and all of that right now, perhaps. When the flood waters come, they will manage through and the road will still remain. So when the water recedes, we could quickly build the road before the next flood season. That is the story of the East-West Road, and it has to be attended to. The other one you mentioned, which is very serious, is insecurity. Insecurity in the Niger Delta region, and then you finally touch the most sensitive and the most interesting one, which is oil theft. I will tell you today, Mr. Minister, Honorable Minister, that it is actually pitiable that about 98% of the Nigerian elites do not understand what oil thievery is. And having come to this place today, it will be okay for you to know a bit of it. And after that, you will be gifted a book which has discussed that subject so very well. Contrary to popular belief, and I believe most of the people in this hall think that the oil thieves are in our kingdom. I can tell you today that there is no oil thief in our kingdom. I am not being nice. I'm not trying to protect my subjects. There are no oil thieves in our kingdom. Why? An oil thief, a thief of the Nigerian oil, is someone who has properties in Abuja. And so if those people in the Niger Delta do not have properties in Abuja, they cannot be oil thieves. If someone who has properties in Banana Island, if they don't have properties there, they cannot be oil thieves. If someone who has a yacht of his own, who has a golf course somewhere abroad, who has properties in London and America and other parts of Europe, that is the definition of an oil. Anyone else that you see wearing, who is not able to buy trousers, and so a pair of trousers, and so he wears shorts, and is carrying jerry cans because he cannot afford a bag or a ship, and is going about beating cancer every day. Such a fellow is a victim of oil theft. That thing has to be known. So most of the people you think are oil thieves are just victims of oil thieves. 500,000 barrels of oil could not be anywhere in the Niger. Nowhere. I've asked all of these kings in turns. No one says anyone in their kingdoms has a ship. The oil is stolen via the waterways through the ocean and are taken to America and England and other parts of Europe, and the international governments know it well. So if we want to stop oil thievery, the focus should be in the thieves and not on these other guys that have been produced because so much oil is being stolen every day. Now, it's not that we don't advise our children not to even do that risk, take that risk of having to breed cancer. But you know that if you're enlightened enough, and someone offers you even $1 billion today, if I $1 billion today, that tomorrow morning you will be dead, you will say, oh, well, take your money out. And so for someone to be reduced so low that he has to bed cancer every day for survival, so that you will die of cancer in 2-3 years from now, it is something pitiable. Nobody will elect to want to go into such a trade. But the Nigerian state, in its lack of sensitivity in the last several decades, has created that category of individuals. And we have them there seeming to pose some level of peace, but they are not. The other bit why today, in this level, in this current level of so-called identity tribes, is because we don't have the petroleum products available. If we have premium motor spirits and all other petroleum products properly available, will anyone want to go and buy a concocted nonsense that will knock your engine any day? So the Nigerian state has to look at how to ensure that there is proper availability of what we need for our survival. Honorable Minister, that is the story. And this last part is like magic. If today there is proper oil everywhere, I mean when I mean oil now, PMS and diesel and the rest of them, everywhere, nobody will buy something that is that dirty, something that is not fit for purpose. And that bit has to be. Of course, the other bit is the economy. Is the Nigerian economy robust enough today? Because if we are getting very close to 1,000 naira to a dollar, I can tell you that almost everybody you see will want to hop on us to survive. Because that's the only way to survive. And so insecurity can be properly handled if we quickly attend to those areas as well. Let opportunities get all over the place and overwhelm us. And then I can tell you, no sane person will go and take such things. Most of the people that have been pushed into this level of survival do not have the right type of exposure in terms of education and so on and so forth. And above all, no opportunities for proper survival. So, let the Nigerian state be proactive and be effective in ensuring that oil thievery, the oil thievery I mean is the oil thievery that ships oil from the Niger Delta away to the European continent, or to every other West African country. Once that stops, and I know that people can stop it, if you ask me, I can stop it in less than a month. I know people can stop it in about 2 months. Once the Nigerian state is ready to stop it and they stop it, everything will change. Because the insecurity question in Nigeria will change. Honorable Minister, I don't want to bore you. I believe that I have spoken to you and I have told you what there is to say with respect to the success of your job. The success of your job, apart from what you have said, also largely depends on your understanding properly some of the things that I said. It's not because you don't know it, but it's also possible that you may not have known it enough. For Bayelsa State, apart from the few places that you could access by road, the rest is only accessible by road. It's river, swampy, and oil. The Niger Delta Ministry has to devise ways of reaching all of us so very effectively, irrespective of where we reside. So while we crave for the East-West Road to be completed as quickly as possible, let it not remain in the drawing board and action forever. We also want the Niger Delta Ministry and also the NDC to look at places outside of this road, places that are not motivated, so that we will feel the impact of it. If I tell you that out of the LGAs in the Bayelsa State, the whole of Southern Niger is entirely riverine, the whole of Brass entirely riverine, the whole of Nembe more or less entirely riverine, The whole of Sababa, more or less entirely riverine. The whole of Ekrema, more or less entirely riverine. The whole of Obia, more or less entirely riverine. Even in Agua, most of it is entirely riverine. Kolombo Pokman, the entire state is entirely riverine. And in most of these places I mentioned, the only federal government presence is the oil industry. So oil pipelines, oil locations, oil facilities. That is all. If you go and ask them now who is the new president, they don't know. If you ask them who was the former president, they can't know. Because they seem like they are closer to the Republic of Cameroon or Equatorial Guinea or Gabon. I am not exaggerating. That is the fact. And so, long and short, haven't come here and haven't get this. It will be okay for you when you return back to the drawing board to look at how best the federal presence, the presence of President Ahmed will be felt in those places beyond pipelines and oil fields. On this note, Honorable Minister, I will want to give you this book. This book also has the way forward to Nigeria's insecurity. Actually, I've given it to the president himself when he was campaigning, and so I'm giving it to you today. If you read it, if you read it, it will be better. But if you cause your people in the office, your peers, and the rest of them to read it, it will help with your work because you will understand properly our own shortcomings and what makes us do things the way we do. On this note, Honorable Minister,